Okay, this is an AutoCAD video to show you how to draw these shapes. So the uniqueness about this is that they're ellipses, and we've got some circles in there, and so there's a little bit of strangeness. So we'll take a look. There's a template that I have for my students, but you wouldn't necessarily have. It's nothing too complicated. It does have a title block for an A paper or A4. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the settings for the snap settings. I switched from polar to grid snap, and my spacing is 10 units. I'm not even sure what I'm in as far as units, but it doesn't matter. So I'm clicking OK. I'm going to start with the grid on, and then we'll change that. So the first thing is to select the technique here. So we've got an ellipse, at least I believe I clicked the ellipse. It wants a center point. I'm going to go up 82. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to go across 30 and enter. So the first thing you notice is that the line is very chunky. You can change that over here by turning your line off and on. If that's not showing up for you, you can just go to these three lines and you can turn on or off your line weight depending on what you want or don't want. So you'll notice that it disappears when you uncheck it, and it shows up when you check it, and then just click somewhere else to get rid of that dialog box. Okay, so in this case we got the line weight off. If I toggle it, it becomes thick. So the next thing is to do that again. If you have your mouse set up, you can do a right click and you can repeat ellipse, but in this case we'll assume that you don't have that set. So we're going to click the middle. This time we're going to go 72. We're going to hit enter, and the second measurement is 24. And so we've got basically parallel ellipses. The next thing is to place the circle part. So the full shape looks like this. So you can sort of see that the 70 or 82 down here and 76 are these significantly. I don't have the other dimensions on this particular diagram, but there's a second one for the assignment, or you can just go with the numbers I'm typing in. So this placement right here is 18 over from the center line and 60 up. So that's going to be what we're going to draw next. So you could draw a rectangle or you can draw a line. So this one's going to be 60 up. And because it's a polyline, it's going to automatically join. And this one's going to be 18. It does look like it should be probably 17 if we really want it to be in the center, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to hit escape to get out of that tool, and then I'm going to grab the circle tool and I'm just going to click on the end of it. Now you can sort of see it, sometimes the grid helps you and sometimes it doesn't, so I'm going to turn the snap off, and now I'm able to select, and the first radius is 7 and the second is going to be 10. So 10, type. So at this point we can start deleting things. So if you select the line, you can hit delete on the keyboard if it's a full line. You can go to the trim command. You can note that I don't know what mode I'm in, but it seems to work for me. Check mode. I think there's mode 0 or 1. The other thing is that sometimes you need to explode your shape, but in this case it works well without that. So you can use a single click on what part you want to trim. You can also draw a line through the object, and sometimes that's faster. And once you get to what you want, then you can save so maybe saving it. So I've done this a few times, so let's call this one Atom 5. Okay, so now the only thing that's left to do is to do this rotation. So there's 120 degrees off of center. We have all the other dimensions. So we're going to use rotate. We're going to click left, select everything. And then you're going to hit enter because you're done selecting all the objects. So then it asks you for the base point. It doesn't show up right away, but if you hover over the side, then it shows what you want. At this point, it's pretty crucial to go down and click copy. So now it's just a matter of typing the angle, and we remember 120. We hit enter, and so we've got the first two ellipses. So then it's a little bit trickier to do the second part, but we're going to hit rotate. We're going to select the outside line, the inside line, the circle, and the two arcs. And then we're going to hit enter to end the selecting of the object process. It wants the base point. It's going to be the same base point. And then once again, you have to click on the copy button. And now it's going to be a matter of typing in -120, and that completes our shape. So at this point, it's just trimming to sort of give you the illusion that they're going to be sometimes going over, sometimes they're going under. So if I'm doing this fast, I'm not going to be good at sort of getting it looking perfect, but you can spend more time on yours. I'm just going to do the fast version of it for the sake of brevity. And let's see if we can do it. Okay, so that'll be good enough. We can hit save again so we don't lose what we've created. The next part is hatching. So I've had more success hatching in layout view. Once you're in layout view, you can double click in the white space, and you can use this sort of zoom extends, and you can also set the scale factor to 1. So if you use my dimensions, then on an A size piece of paper, it's going to work out well. Once you have it centered and scaled properly, you want to lock it in place. And if you change it to paper space, then you can use these functions here. But the downside is when you go to hatch it, you can't actually hatch it. You've actually got a grid in this situation. And we want to, I don't know, do red first. So if I click red, it's going to change the whole sheet. So I'm going to go backwards and I'm going to change it back to model. So now it's in model. I'm going to go back to hatch. I'm going to select solid. I'm going to use red. I'm going to use the third one down. And if I'm lucky, I should be able to just click and it should work out. Okay, so now I don't know if there's another way of doing this, but I close the hatching and then I open it again, and then I change the color. So this time we'll go dark green, and we're just going to select all the parts. Sometimes you've made a mistake and it won't fill in, so you get this error. So close boundary could not be determined. That I haven't found an easy way to figure out how to do that. We're gonna just keep going. So I'm gonna change this to blue, and that's the second blue, and we're just gonna go around. Okay, and then the last thing is to put in the dots. So I'm gonna go back to hatching, and I'm gonna make these dots black. Okay, and we'll close that. We'll try one more time just for fun. See if we can get the blue color. So I think it was the middle blue. Oh, it's not the blue, it's green. So it was the darkest green. So that one worked, and that one worked. So I don't know what happened. It's still a little bit magic to me. So I'm happy with that. The only thing is this title block. If you have one, you have to be in paper to change the title block. So you click on it, double click on it. So the title, we're going to change the value for the title just to Atom. If you click OK, it's going to go away. You're going to have to reselect it. The date today is, the day would be the 21st. The month would be 05, and the year would be 2024. So you can hit apply. The name, I'm just going to use my name. I'm going to hit apply. The scale, in this case I'm using 1 to 1. And you could put the drawing number if you're doing a bunch of them. But that essentially closes off the activity. Anyways, good luck with that. AutoCAD isn't always that fun, but if you keep trying and looking up stuff on the internet, eventually you get the hang of it. Okay, good luck, have fun.